What up, and welcome to 901 Bets. Think of this as sports betting for dummies right here in Memphis. Now, before we get rolling, quick reminder, if gambling has become a problem for you, hit that Tennessee Gambling Hotline, that number right on your screen at 800-889-9789. All right, y'all, today's Bankroll Basics is all about something you'll hear tossed around a lot in sports betting, hit rate. So what's that? Hit rate is simply the percentage of wagers you win compared to the total number of wagers you place. It's one way to measure how you're doing, but keep in mind, it doesn't factor in the odds or payouts. So a bettor could have a solid hit rate, but still lose money if the bets are mostly heavy favorites with low returns. And if y'all were just curious how I've been doing on some of my own predictions, let's check in on my Bluff City Lines record from last weekend. I went 2-2. I got Memphis covering that 13.5 spread against Georgia State right, and I also hit on the Ole Miss money line against Kentucky. But I missed on Memphis covering the 7.5 first half spread against Georgia State, and Ole Miss covering 9.5 against Kentucky didn't come through either. So for the weekend, that makes me 2-2, and overall on the season, I'm sitting at 3-3. So that's a 50% hit rate, right in the middle. Or to put it in Memphis terms, that's like shooting 3 for 6 from the free throw line at FedEx Forum. Not great, not terrible, just right down the line. So remember, hit rate is a quick way to track performance, but it doesn't tell the whole story about profit. That's why bankroll management matters, people, just as much as calling winners. Anyways, time for this week's Bluff City Lines. I've got a couple of picks on the board that should catch Memphis fans' attention. Let's start with the hometown Tigers. I'm taking Memphis to cover the 3.5 spread against Troy at -115 odds. I'm also riding with the money line at -185. Now here's why. The Tigers haven't lost a game against the spread this season. They're a perfect 2-0 as at least a 3.5 point favorite. Meanwhile, Troy is just one win against the spread all year. I like Memphis to keep that ATS streak alive. Now let's head on over to Oxford. I'm rolling with Ole Miss 7.5 against Arkansas, which is at about even money. So here's the deal. Both these teams rank near the top in explosive play offenses, those chunk plays of 20 yards or more. Well, Arkansas, they sit at third place, while Ole Miss, they're at second. But here's the difference. The Rebels built that reputation against tougher defenses like that gritty win at Kentucky. And the Razorbacks, well, they've been carving up tissue paper. Plus, despite all the turnover on defense, Ole Miss has actually held up well. I trust them to contain Razorback quarterback Taylor Green in the pocket and limit Arkansas's big play shots downfield. So to recap, I got Memphis 3.5, Memphis money line, and Ole Miss 7.5. We'll see how these Bluff City Lines, we'll see if they can keep on rolling. All right, let's merge ahead of the line and bets from Bill into one thing when we talk about Tennessee versus Georgia. I'm rolling with our guy, WBIR's Elijah Nixon on this one. I like Tennessee to cover 3.5 and the money line at +150. Vols are 2-0, scored 72 points in their opener, and they've won 9 straight at Neyland. It's going to be rocking there. Quarterback Joey Aguilar, he's making his SEC debut, and he's averaging 267 passing yards per game to go along with 5 touchdowns. And check this out. Tennessee hasn't allowed a sack yet. The Vols boast a strong offensive line with that murderous row of running backs, whether it's Deshaun Bishop, you got Thomas Lewis, and they're averaging 252 yards combined. Georgia's been solid against the run, but Tennessee's multi-threat attack will test them. Bottom line, I got the Vols because of their firepower to cover, and they might even pull off the upset. I agree with our guy Elijah. As always, send me your takes. If you have a betting question, terminology, any of that good stuff you're unsure of, send it my way. You want my opinion on a slip or a ticket you have? Send it my way. Man, if you just want me to even spotlight your W, we will give you flowers on this program. We have fun over here, man. So at me on X at RD2 Sports, text the number 901-321-7520, or just use the hashtag ABC24Floor. But in saying all that, remember folks, producer Leanna, bring it up for me one more time. This content is for entertainment purposes only. ABC24 and its affiliates do not encourage gambling. Viewer discretion is advised. Any betting decisions you make are solely your responsibility. We are not responsible for any financial losses or wins resulting from information presented on this program. That's a wrap, and that will do it for today's 901 Bets. We've got Say What coming up. We'll be right back.